What's up? It's your boy KARCENO here, and let's talk about it. A lot of people wanted to discuss the news about Michael Jordan selling his shares, and let's speak on that. He's selling the majority shares of the company. They're in negotiations to do so. A lot of people were feeling indifferent about this. Me, myself, I was feeling like, okay, now it kind of makes sense from a business aspect of it. It's a lot of people that don't really understand business, and they don't even understand why Michael Jordan got the Charlotte Hornets in the first place. Well, when he came in as minority owner, that's the position he really wanted to take. Then he thought he had an idea where he could boost his platform, and he had an idea um, to expand, but he never really wanted to be a majority owner at first. That wasn't his goal. When Mr. Johnson had got the company and Mr. Johnson wanted out, Michael didn't want someone else to come in that he didn't know. And he was basically the minority owner with someone else in control that he didn't have a relationship with. So Michael wanted to control that situation and be able to do what he wanted to do with the team. Like I always told people, you don't get rich owning an NBA basketball team. When you buy an NBA basketball team, you're already rich. Those people have made their money elsewhere. And this is basically a badge of honor. It's a way to increase your net worth and your overall brand. So you can try to expand the team and hopefully you can grow it to something. You might draft a unbelievable, God forget, one of a kind talent to your team. But if you're in a small market, which Charlotte is, because it is a basketball town, but it's a college basketball town. Even high school basketball does well there. So, you got Duke on one side, you got North Carolina, you have all these schools for college basketball, and they just pack the house. So that's why they would always take a player from North Carolina put them on the team, or Duke, or so some of their hometown people that loved them could come and root for them. That was the formula. So even if somebody didn't get drafted, like a Sean May or somebody, they gonna be on the Charlotte Hornets. But eventually, the ultimate goal is to win, right? You want to compete to win. Now, back in, I think it was June, the city council just approved a $275 million deal that would keep the team there for like at least the next 15, 20 years. So this was going to be on the Spectrum Center. So the plans have grown, and that's going to bring more money, more revenue to the Charlotte Hornets. And that's what 215 million would come in from the cities, like the tourist funds. Renovations is about what 60 million. So they agreed to do that. So whoever receives the naming rights for the creation of the Sports Illustrated, the district that they got going on, that goes towards teams' practice facilities. And the Hornets will begin paying 2 million per year. So you got to look at the numbers. When Jordan bought the team, you know, what was that? He paid what 275 million for majority ownership when he got it from Mr. Johnson. So that was his majority stake. That was 13 years ago. Okay? Michael Jordan, a lot of you just don't understand. He makes money from vastly different places. He owns restaurants, he owns a yacht, he owns very expensive places. And he's got stock in all of these things that bring in heavy revenue. And most people are not aware of it. They don't understand it. They just like, okay, whatever. Whatever, my guy. So the Jordans, yes, they bring in a big chunk of the money, but his brand has grown. The Jordans helped build a whole new platform of what Michael Jordan has. That yes, he is underpaid from Nike from what he should be getting, but even without that, Michael Jordan isn't suffering. Nowhere near suffering. So right now, all of the expenses of the team is about 100 million. Right, the debt value is probably at 12%, and right now it's it's not. I'm gonna say it's not worth it. You're just not gonna get super rich owning the Charlotte Hornets. You're gonna spend more money than you're gonna really get out of it. But here's what Michael Jordan is gonna be using the team for. And this is what people use an NBA team for, not to make money off the ticket sales and all that. You hope you can, but it's an investment, like a capital investment. It's the sports facility part, the stadium itself, the marketing. So you look at the market and everything that's involved with it, and you start looking at the brand altogether. So you look at the breakdown. Historically, the value of the team is what, 1.7 billion, but the revenue is 269 million. The operating income is almost 100 million. So if your revenue is 269 million and it's costing you 100 million to run the operation, then your player expenses is 105 million dollars you got to work with. Your win to player ratio is like 111. It's not bad, it's not good, but you want to gotta you kind of gotta make the playoffs every year to be doing well. At least be competitive. But see, they face a problem that a lot of teams like them are going to face. They're going to suffer. And the reason why they're suffering is because the only reason their value went up is because of the sale of the Clippers. Who was that crazy owner? Donald Sterling. See, when Donald Sterling came, right? When did that controversy happen? Was that 2014, around that time? So when Donald Sterling came in 2014, the Hornets was $450 million. That was like what the team was worth, right? As far as value. The revenue is 115 million at the time. The operation cost was $7 million. 7 million operating costs. So, okay, 64 million in player expenses. That's outstanding. How do you go from your operating costs being 7 million to going up to 1.2, 4 million, 9 million to 21 million in 28? Then 22 million in 2019, 39 million in 2020, 36 million in 2021, 34 million in 2022, and 94 million in 2023. This is the operating income for your team. That's a big wow, ain't it? So you see a big chunk of the money going. Now, why would Michael Jordan want out? Michael Jordan got this team to market the Jordan brand. All the players were wearing Jordans. That's what it was about. Team Jordan. He's going to market his new shoes here. He's going to market his products. Everything's Jordan. So this is the hub. He's got national television instead of buying ad revenue. You don't have to buy ads now. Everybody's going to be wearing Jordans. and you own an NBA team. That's automatic. Got the ads. It's got ABC. It's got ESPN. You got your ad revenue. So it's called synergy. It's cross branding. Now the value change is about analyzed at probably 21% with the big 8 1 year change. They're not really going anywhere. And Michael Jordan is probably building up his network because he's getting ready to go into another venture, another investment. So now he's comfortable with this guy and this team that he's been working with. He can let them be the majority owner. He can go back to being a minority owner. Doesn't mean he's going to be completely out, where they're going to still have his Jordan brands. He just don't want to be a part of none of the meetings. He don't want to have anything to do with this new CBA that's coming along. And I understand that. Take his name out of the hat. So he don't have to answer questions about any of these things that's about to happen. And that's really the bulk of it. He's not making a lot of money off of it. You want to make the most money with less responsibility. If he can still get the players to wear his Jordans, and he don't got to be in charge of player hiring and firing and all of these things. Now they can't blame Michael Jordan for any of it. He's a minority owner again, and he'll just sit back and do what he did prior. That's all he wants to do. But certain business ventures and investments that you have, it cross certain lines when you own. It's conflict of interest is what they call it. When you own an NBA team, you have to check. You can't be invested in certain things. It's normally a red flag would pop up and say, "Oh, do you own this and this and this?" Because if you do, that's a conflict of interest. So you're going to have to disqualify yourself or find a way to get away from it. Like when he went back to play for the Wizards. When he went back to play for the Wizards, what Michael Jordan had to do was put his shares in a trust, because him being a part owner or a general manager, he can't play basketball and do both. Even though he did do both, he had to have somebody just sit in the seat while he go out and do what he did. So Mike had both roles. um, no, I feel that the league, they use Michael and they still use him. But if you look at today's game and where it's going, it doesn't look like it's going in a positive direction. And the reason why is because a lot of people, as I've stated, are not watching the games. They watch the highlights on ESPN and they're trying to figure out how we're going to get the people into watching the games. Why don't they want to watch the games? Because people want the information quicker and faster, so they feel like fast-paced game. We got to make the game faster. No, you keep altering the game. The game is tough. That's what people like. They respect the game tough. You think scoring makes the game great. And that's how you lose these people. Because you're trying to go and appease other people, you're going to negate the people that actually put the butts in the seat and who actually come out and buy the materials and buy the jerseys and everything else and come to the game. You're going to insult them to try to get invisible people. If I own a basketball team, I'm not finna try to market to a doggone drama club to try to get their interest into the game. Being like, oh, well, we already got these guys. They're already basketball people. I need to market here to this drama club. Come on, drama. It's drama in our league. You're going to love it. You like drama? Come on. Get involved. It's drama, drama, drama. You're gonna love it. They're not. They like their drama. They like the drama they got going on. And that's it. See, when everybody wake up and get off this merry-go-round of the fantasy world that they're in, then we can start growing in the right directions. I always feel we're not growing in the right directions. I feel that we need to all come together and figure out what it is that we want. We want to talk about movies we haven't seen. We want to say, oh, that movie sucked. You haven't seen it. We talk about songs that's terrible. You haven't heard it. Oh, that album, man, it's gonna suck. You don't know. You don't know. That's the problem. That is the problem. You don't know. Why don't people take the time to get to know? So I looked at it, understanding it's a business play. I had to listen to Colin Cowherd say the most dumbest statements I've ever heard from an individual who's supposed to be a journalist. I I couldn't stand Michael Jordan when he played. I'm a Piston fan, but everything that came out of his mouth was a damn lie. It was terrible. Saying Michael Jordan didn't do anything but elevate Michael Jordan. He's got his golf buddies and they all circle around him to protect Mike. He sucked with the Wizards and he only helped himself in Chicago. I'm like, what kind of. Look, Colin Cowherd, let me tell you something. Michael Jordan built this league to $1 billion evaluation. He's the reason you could be on Fox talking about sports. Michael Jordan built this league. He kept this thing alive. Everybody was eating off Mike. That BRI was high for the players. That's basketball related income. They know what that means. That BRI was high, baby, and y'all was eating good off Michael. And he didn't elevate nobody. Scottie Pippen didn't get elevated. Horace Grant didn't get elevated. None of these guys that played with Mike got elevated. Steve Kerr got elevated. Steve Kerr wasn't known at all. He won championships in San Antonio. Nobody knew. Nobody paid no attention to that. He got elevated when he played with Mike and he hit a shot. Mike gave him the ball and he hit a shot. That made Kerr career. This guy averaged like 5 points a game. He didn't elevate these guys. Scottie Pippen wouldn't have been on a dream team if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. He wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame probably if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. He didn't elevate any of these guys. What more elevation do you need? He sucked in Washington? Really? Did you see the games? He didn't suck in Washington. The team he had was a team that was young. He didn't have a whole bunch of players in there loading up to try to get him a run for a championship. He didn't have that. He played with what they had in the budget. And at 40, he was putting up 40. He scored 96 points in 2 games. But they just weren't a playoff team, and he just couldn't physically do that every night and take over a game and to lead this team where they needed to go because They needed to mold. This wasn't a championship team. You had a bunch of great talent individually who didn't know how to balance a game. They didn't understand how to make it all work and all click. Yeah, Colin Cowherd pissed me off today when he said that. That was just egregious, reckless. Now you can say he was an a-hole on the court and an a-hole to people, cool, but don't disrespect the game by saying that. What you said didn't make any sense. But anyway, I spoke too long. Let me get up out of here. Love, peace, and hair grease. Don't forget to support the channel, KARCENO for life. I'm out. Deuces.